Let's talk about the Rahimi case. Today, the Supreme Court of the United States heard the Rahimi case. The Rahimi case involves a Texas man who was under a domestic violence restraining order and prohibited from owning guns while under that order. He also did a lot of other bad things, including pointing guns at people and other such crimes. But this case dealt solely with being under a domestic violence restraining order and having firearms. He said that the law ran afoul of the plain language of the Second Amendment and the historical tradition of firearms regulations in the United States. A judge found for him, and the circuit court backed up that decision. The federal government appealed to the Supreme Court and asked them to grant a writ of certiorari, meaning that they would hear the case, which they did. And now oral arguments were heard. Although we have no idea what the court is going to do 100%, we do have an idea through the line of questioning, and I can break it down. And I think we are going to lose this case, sadly, we being for gun rights. We can infer what the Supreme Court is going to do by looking at their line of questioning. It appears that all four liberal justices, because they are all of one hive mind, is going to rule against the Second Amendment, because of course they will. It also looks like Alito, Thomas, and Gorsuch are going to rule for the Second Amendment, with Amy Coney Barrett, Kavanaugh, and Roberts joining the liberal justices ruling against the Second Amendment. That breaks down to a 6-3 decision against freedom. I do believe that the decision, either way it breaks, will be narrowly tailored to domestic violence restraining orders. I don't think they're going to go into other things like nonviolent crimes or whatnot, but I do believe that it will be narrowly tailored because of some of the questions that they asked. Also, they talked about how he was found by a court of justice to be a danger. So they're going to say if you are found under a court of justice, even if it's a restraining order, to be a danger to yourself or others, they can take away your firearms. And this decision might prop up red flag laws, because what is similar in a domestic violence restraining order and a red flag law is the ex parte hearing, which means that the defendant is not there for the hearing. For the longest time, I and others have insinuated that that was a violation of the due process clause of the Constitution, and I do believe it is. But it seems like the justices are leaning on the fact that it was not a violation of the due process clause, and since there was a court hearing, it was totally A-okay, which makes me afraid for red flag laws, even though I think red flag laws are a little bit different. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But the ex parte thing kind of scares me, because you're not there to defend yourself or face your accusers. I am really curious to see how people like Mark from Four Boxes Diner break it down. He is a great legal mind, and I believe that he will have an awesome breakdown, better than I could ever do. So we'll have to wait and see what he says about that, but I am very, very curious to see what he thinks about it. Overall, there's some other cases that are coming down, including a range case and some other cases where we have a better chance of victory, and I think we will win. But on the domestic violence restraining order issue, I believe that this will be a loss for gun rights. It's not the end of the world, but it still kind of sucks. So we'll just have to see. Like I said, whoever tells you they know 100% sure what the court is going to do is usually wrong. So if someone says the court is definitely going to rule this way, don't believe them. If they say they feel because of the questioning that this is the way the court will rule, that is different than trying to do a prediction, because you can never tell what the court is going to do. I have been shocked in the past, and so have really, really brilliant legal minds. So we'll just have to see what happens here. But I do believe it's going to be a 6-3 decision or a 5-4 decision at best for the anti-gun side. So with that out of the way, just wanted to make a quick little video to let you know what exactly happened. I got to listening to the case a little bit late, so yeah, that's why it took me so long to come out with this video. But Wolverines, that is it. I will talk to you later. Remember, you can like, comment, and subscribe. Super chats or just super thanks are appreciated. I will try to thank you in the comments for any super chats or super thanks, whatever. There's also tons of ways to support the channel, but the best way you can support the channel is by liking, commenting, and subscribing to the channel so it can help propagate out to the masses. All right, guys, stay ever vigilant, stay ever free, keep in the fight, Wolverines. I love you. Wolverines, motherfucker.